step of magic. Do so just say, oh, Gladion. I drop or I die. On a side, don't you buy a way, oh, my get out that one, try it forever. Why you pay your play? I be on your play. Put that yourself, put that young when you, I say, oh, by now. Do us a nene glass, say, oh, my God. You should just say, oh, just say, oh, just say, oh. Hey, my yourself, I'm like, what you looking at? I say, oh, Gladion. This is a special birthday song for that dog. Jawali Jonetta Wele. We say happy birthday to you. Enjoy your new age. The graduate daughter. Not forgetting Shannon Taylor. For Chicken Air. We want to remember her late daughter, Yolo Jira Wagner Taylor. Rest well. Not forgetting Brother Tony Wele Patu. Justina So in Taxi. Mother Teresa Pregnant So in Rhode Island. Yeah, we are traveling. Edward's birthday, Edward Luson, Capiada. I say, oh, Gladion. I say, oh, I didn't know. I say, oh, I do this, wow, Gladion. And the Orito So in Rhode Island. I said, my, and the Helena, Rhode Island. Uncle Tommy So in Liberia. But yeah, the late Uncle Stella So. Listen. Says Angie in Rhode Island. Anita Zian, Minnesota. Apogitro, oh, Gladion. Donetta, well, I did drop wow, or I see boss out. When your person looking, when your person looking, when your person looking, when your person looking, you just say, oh, Gladion. No, I beat Daniela. Not run on the way. You say, get it. I'm behind your throw. When I go. Alfonso So, I go. Many thanks to Mr. Alfonso So in the US. I thought Alfonso So, they could be up waking. I throw, say, what's your boy? Congratulations to that Jawali Jonathan Wele. It is your birthday, eh? I just say, oh, God, you better more like you. If one run away, never. And when you are, not forgetting the cousins of the celebrant. Anita Zian in Minnesota. Direct Minnesota. Uncle Jerry So, Rhode Island. And some important personality here, right? Not forgetting our late father, Johnny Zian So. Rest well, father. Man, better so. Rest well. Man, necessary so. Listen, we are in a double celebration. Eh? Congratulations. It is your graduation and your birthday as well. We say happy birthday. Congratulations. Our medical director. We want to say many thanks to all of the friends who attended the occasion. Dr. Jawali, extend our thanks and appreciation to you all. We call her Dr. Jawali.
Of the Liberia Public Radio, and I'm Alfonso Z. And so we want to welcome our viewers and listeners. This is the editions of Examiner coming to you live here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radios and Lpr-Tv. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening, this morning, afternoon, depending on your location, and we are glad to have you. We intend to shift the conversation here this evening, and we will shortly get this program underway. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. If you are in Liberia or other parts of the world, this is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. This is the Sunday's editions of the Examiner, coming your way live this evening. Beautiful weather here in the East Coast, in the ocean state of Rhode Island. It was very nice today. And I hope it just continues like that. But nothing is guaranteed in the New England corridor, New England belt. We say good evening, we say good morning, we say good afternoon. If this is your first sound, of course, you are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I am the Lee Angot, Alfonso Zienso, right here. Thank you for sharing your evening with RCL. Just do us a favor, just hit the share icon. Throw the link in any group in friends that you're privileged to see. They should also watch. And let us talk about our country. Let us listen to your views, your opinions of critical issue. We don't say it away as usual. We say what you need to know. However, your views, your opinions valued in the dispensations of Liberia for the good of the country. So we are not just going to leave this conversation alone with those that lead with policy, decision makers. It's about the country, so all must be inclusive. All must be part of the conversation here. So, and this is what we do here. So whether we invite minister, senator, representative, 10 million directors, or whatever, whether they come, they don't, we have the capacity to have these conversations simply because we count on you. Who went to church today? I did. I worked from work and just went to church. And I think it was great because the pastor today he really hit the button on the head. Yeah, you know, sometimes when the pastor preach and then when you sit in the church, you think, say the pastor, I wanted the pastor dream about me last night. That's not it, but that the Spirit of God to lead them to do what they are doing. And it is good at times. We say good evenings. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping here and acknowledge our good people here who are so committed, so much committed to what we do here and value what we do, even though at times they disagree with us. But that is how it should be. You have the right to disagree with us. I mean, it's about the country. And when we are talking about the country, we take a holistic approach. We take the views of those who agree, who don't agree, and those who still scratching their hair because they have not found the answer. They have not been told what they should do, or, you know, information is not forthcoming. So we value all of that. So let's welcome Christopher Wuloti Togbasi. Oh my goodness, one of the diehard seditions. A guy, I don't think he's going to get tired. He's taking this all the way to the day end. Good evening, Christopher. It's good to have you here this Sunday. And of course, my man, Godwin's Weirdo. How you doing? Good day. Hopefully you had a very beautiful weekend and going into the coming week, of course, it will also be fine. Even our words are inadequate to express of your commitment and always throwing in here. Despite the tabata from the liberal wing and the other group of people, today Sunday, I'm not going to be too bashful to them, but you guys continue to come on. And I know sometimes it become about a pain in the neck here, and they call me whatever names they want to call me, but that's okay. It's not an insult. Somebody told me, say, if you call anybody calls you this time, you know what you do? Don't talk. Just make good friends with them and take them to the library. So you get a library, just call busy. Good to have you, Yvonne. Good to have you here. And of course, Lafayette Curtis. I hope I'm calling your name right. It's good to have you here. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Of course, Breakable. Where are you breaking this evening here? Mr. Patrick Solo, good to have you here. Kokolu Yogbo. Am I right? KY or YK, if I have to flip it around, good to have you. Jemison, good to have you here as well. My man, Zizi Kaba is here. Toure is in the house. I think the house is getting crowded here this evening, which is great. But like I said, the guy can get honey. Let me just say DS here before I can't cause here the Sunday here. I went to church today. I don't want to do that. But all over, we say good to have you. Thank you so much. And we don't acknowledge you. It doesn't mean you are not part. Of course, you are part. Morning is here. My namesake, Afonso Doyant. Jared Cummings. Cummings, what's up, man? Good evening. I wonder you are in a position to join us here this evening, because I tend to shift the conversation here. You two might they one say that one say who in jail. I don't want to go there this evening, but if you are just in a position to just let me know, or you prefer to call in, that is okay as well. And anybody who watching, if you think you want to form part of the conversation, that is okay as well. Senior player Aaron is in from Atlanta, Georgia. My man Moses Momolu. These are the die-hard Lpr guys in this place here. So I don't want anybody to mess time with them. People bringing artificial phone, call them Channing phone, because they simply disagree with their political opinions or view being expressed. Can you imagine? Because you don't want to hear what somebody want to say, and you say, oh no, don't call. But let's take a quick commercial break. And when I come back, we will kick the ball off. This is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. Be the first to know quality is better than quantity. I will be right back.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you. Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
You've worked for months to bring your or your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are
Thank you so much. This is the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. And of course, I am Alfonso Zienso, right here from the New England Bureau to right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your locations. We wholeheartedly welcome you on this network. Your views, your opinion, you are at liberty to express your views and your opinion. We do not usually hold people in contempt here because it's too vague. But all we call for is civility in these national conversations. You know, that's how you have the right to disagree with me. You have the right to express your views, your opinions, and sometimes be judgmental. That's your way. I really do not, and none of all do not have control over people's perception. I mean, the way people think and feel about you, I mean, you don't have control over that. Is that who you are? I don't think so necessarily. Are there some other resemblance, some other qualities in that direction? Possibly. But you can't stop that. They have to say it. They have to express it. Gerald, I think I'm on point. And I hope you wish I would give you a head up to join us here. But we want to thank you so much. But let's start on this sad note here. We are involved in multitudes of stuff here. Funeral rites of the late mother, Satalopu Freeman, is expected to take place here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. That is the 28th weekend of February at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Crossroad International Church, right here in neighboring Massachusetts. Following the body will be flown in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia the first weekend of March, and subsequently to rest in Greater Liberia, formerly called Bangat. Liberia Public Radio crew will be embedded with the remains to be laid to rest in her own Bon town, that is in Bon County, a few kilometers from the city. We will be breaking Bahia, hopefully I'm calling the right name. Here will be laid to rest, and that we will keep you posted on this. Here is a lot going on here. Another one here is my couple Keita who passed away on the 4th, I believe, on the 4th of February in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, following brief illness at the government facility John F. K. Medical Center in Liberia. She also going to be laid to rest in Liberia. This announcement was brought in by the daughter of the deceased. Meanwhile, LPR will also be bringing you live, homegoing celebrations of the life of the late Kopu K. Tayu. That's what we do here. When it is good, we bring it. When it is sad, we bring it. All you need is all you need to know. So I want to thank you so much. But at the same time, whether you are here or in Liberia, we do different things, variety of things. We celebrate your milestones or your achievements, graduations or weddings or whatever it is, be it here or in Liberia. Just let us know. If there's no way, we'll find our way. That's how we ask for help. You know, the country right now is solid like rock. You work, say you don't even know. We can't just be asking cash out here, Zelle here. Yes, we do have it. But we don't do it to the extent that if you, out of your own volitions, you want to do it, that is okay. If you reach out, you think what we are doing is worth giving, that is okay. But we are not going to be the one every evening, every afternoon, cash out Zelle. You make people get sick and tired. You know, it doesn't mean we don't need it. We do, but we just try to draw that line of reasonings and being so professional. If there's a specific cause, then of course we will also come to you. But trust me, we need the money every day. These guys that we have back home, they are so awesome. They are not on salary, but the passion for the professions, the love for the professions, for the good of the country, they are volunteering. Sometimes the belly can sweat, but when you see the hair cover the goat, you just think, say, it's okay because it's laughing. So we have to go extra mile, especially when that's why I don't like title business, because this title thing, it puts people in trouble. Trouble in terms of the expectation is huge. I believe in the functions of being more functional in doing stuff. When they start calling you the CEO and CEO, executive, blah, 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 now you can't have those guys who are volunteering. They too have their families. Let's be reasonable. They too have their families. They too have things to do. That when they call you and they call you that title, it's not easy to do. The weekend cameo. Oh my God, the Valentine party. I mean, every little holiday in Liberia now it's insane. The one I get Valentine, the one don't even have it now. Everything just born up Valentine. So you take pay, you got to start pinching here and there, here and there, here and there to send it, because you got to make them happy. I mean, they also want to enjoy life. Not because pepper tree behind the house so the baby can't cry when the baby wants to eat. They want to have fun time. So we have to be making all of these sacrifices at times to keep them. Well, and that's the only reason. So all we are saying, if you have an event, just call us. If you have business running here, Liberia, or some sort of promotional thing, tell us, and then we can work up something, because whatever you get is being manifested into something to get to our guy. Less than two weeks, one of our correspondent mother passed away. And so we finished doing that. The other one, the head of our network wife, father passed away. Do you think you have people who volunteering for you for years and years? Man passed and you say, oh, I take pay yeah, or I take pay, or I come and pay this? Absolutely not. You have to be rational. You have to be compassionate. That empathy have to kick in you. And you have to go pour hand. You have to do something to squeeze, because in some time it's good to intercede. Even if they don't even ask you, you have to use your good judgment. You know what I mean? When somebody tells you, say, my man died, you in America? You just have to. You say, my pa died. You got to tie your face. You got to put every other thing first, everything else, and do it. So tell them how it can be. Clarence Davis, the rescue uncle. Good evening. Mr. John Mauler, good to have you. Crobble Kennedy Doe, good to have you here. Toure, we say thank you. Here come the die and only die. Clarence, for some reason, calling the man the North Korean. If Clarence becomes Chief Justice, trust me, you will be held in contempt. Yeah, because he associate justice, because the Supreme Court there's no other court that you can go to when the Supreme Court handles its decision and say, you Dr. Male, you go and visit, you changing your sleeping place. You can't go to no lower court because it doesn't come from the lower court. It comes from the Supreme Court. So we pray and proclaim that as long as we are still here, Clarence David will not be any of the associate justices in our country, because he would definitely kill some of us, so you'll be here in contempt. Good evening, good to have you. Happy Sunday. How are you today?
Oh, not too bad. By your grace.
Yeah. The weather was very nice today, though.
Oh yeah, weather was pretty comfortable today.
Yeah, well, it's not guaranteed. That's New England. We never know. I haven't checked how the weather. Even when sometimes you check it, by the time you go low, things just change
Oh
around.
yeah,
Let's
they change
so
very quick.
happy Sunday, buddy. Yeah. So I throw something in the group chat. I believe it was a little bit late, but I think you are perfectly suited based on your profession and work. And I just thought that. Maybe we're going to be shifting things here and there. Maybe we'll find other people in that area to talk about knowing what our country is and where we are heading as a people, as a nation. Probably these are our opinions, these are our suggestions. We want to put forward to governments, educators, professionals, technocrats, and they can take heed from it and know they want to do it or not. But I just feel there's a need for vocational educations in Liberia. Considering who our country and things that are happening. And I was trying to do a quick stuff here. I realized there are a few countries that are really ahead. The Mauritius, Seychelles, and all of that, Egypt, they are way on top of vocational education, which is great because it empowers people with skill. Behind it, professional work is you literally like self-employed. You can be lying down in your bedroom and somebody call you, say, oh, I got to do this. So I'm wondering if there's more attention, more investment in vocational education. Maybe you look at a country, you divide it into a zone and build some huge vocational institutions with all of the disciplines, if not all, but with good significant, those that are really in our country, it would be something. So let's have it. But if you have your own tabata that was planned, of course, we are always open to that. But and we'll also activate the lines in the long run to have people conversation. But in the meanwhile, not to shove anything in your throat. What is happening? What's the latest from your end?
Well, nothing much. Liberia. I can say Liberia because Morovia has become Liberia right now. It seems to be the rest of the 15 counties are dogma right now. Dogma in the sense that the 15 counties, I don't know whether they're in the position of creating job, but it's like Morovia have become now a premier hub. It's not the Republic of Liberia. So the drama start from there is spread to the rest of the counties. And you hardly see the drama originating from other county and spreading up to Monserrato County. I mean, spreading up to Morovia, because we can say Monserrato. So Monserrato have become a premium center now, where it has almost, want to term it as the political capital of Liberia now, where the grand drama is taking place. And the good thing I like about it, I don't know what else you use the word. The good thing is like when one drama is up high in the air, another drama will just spring from the back and knock that drama off and take complete control. That what I notice in Liberia now. Let's just retrospect when His Excellency gave his sona, it took precedent in the town. And in our sona, the 70,000 job creation took the lead. You see, and it started diminishing until it went away. And finally, I think the door has been shut now with Prophet Key taking flight from there now. And I'm very sure the next 48 hour, Prophet Key when the issue will just die down and exchange him over another story again. You see, so Liberia have become a real drama. I mean, Morovia have become a real drama ground right now. For a whole lot of issue going on. You see, so like it get frustrating because it's like I don't know whether we can classify it as development or Liberians are becoming high functional people, or our intellect ability is sharpened now and well increased. But it's like the drama is in every cycle right now. The last time it was the Methodist Church with a gay group, people breaking away, they took over Morovia. And that one subsided. And what next? It came with a sporadic fire all over the place again. And some people say some people are just setting places ablaze intentionally. That one rise up. When you look, the police case jump into it. Police just brutalizing people in the town. And it became another headline again. But within a space of 48 hours, it went down. So it's like the same thing now. It seems to be a random practice in the city, in Morovia, because I can't say Mosurara County. Mosurara is a very big county. But I think all the attention now is right in Morovia right now. You see, so I don't know whether is that a development or self-media awareness, or I really don't know how to classify it, but it has become a drama center.
Now, since you brought this here, because the audience also need a takeaway, because you're not going to flip it back to the audience. You would tell what you think it is. We say good evening, so Roberta. Good to join us from Louisville. Is that Louisville, Kentucky? Good to have us. We were there. That was in May during Green Gated Convention, and of course, we had a very great time where we usher in you. But what is responsible for all of this? What do you think is responsible, Dr. Malley? We're going to come to this whole vocational thing, but you brought your piece up, which is very valid as well. We need to discuss it. What is responsible for all that?
I think one of the things that is responsible for this is like, normally when there is war in your country and the war forces a lot of people into exile. Some go into exile, and we went to almost a significant portion in Africa, particularly West Africa, were all over the place in the refugee camps, and we're not the only person there. You had the Sierra down there, and you also have other national came, those were the opportunists. They came to take advantage of the war and calling themselves Liberian and Sierra, So it's like,
Dr. Malley, how can you say that? What do you mean by the call they say Liberian, sir?
No, I had some friends who were on that camp. They were not Liberian, but they were taking advantage of the opportunity, of course.
Oh no, I mean, okay. Then that's on the camp.
They took advantage of opportunity and they classify themselves as Liberians. Some of them are here today. They are our brothers. But I know I have some of those stories, and that's a fact. In most of the refugee camps, for instance, I know in Ghana, most of the people were taking advantage of Liberian slots. But that's not the issue right now. So what I'm driving out here is that when you travel after war, it's like so many things come back. Some come with developmental mind. Some come with different innovation. But I noticed we did not bring back this idea of developing some things or manufacturing some things or coming to really build some things. But I noticed we have become very high functional when it comes to this social media. It seems to be our strength is in there. And now because the social media is setting the agenda now, you have this splinter group called the Attire Shop. All over the place, people discussing issues from one issue to another issue. University students, college students, ordinary community members, people are just discussing issues, So I noticed we have become half functional in that era. And it's all over Morovia town.
Is that a good side to it? Is that a good side to what you are?
Yes, I think there's a good side to it. And the good side to it is that it creates self-awareness. It make it to look like it is not only their thing now, it's our thing, and we can talk about it.
So the concept of the people think that I'm a thing, that it helps
before.
Now that's what I'm saying. So with this, with the with the social media syndrome, right? Where everybody now somehow you got to be connected to some sort of social media, it helps to erase the concept or the notion of that a people think, because that's what we used to do, because that people think at the end of the day, instead of being the people think, it can be our thing, and we all have been victim of that, because thinking that we remove ourselves and we were doing ourselves good, thinking that way, that is being ignored for the most part, correct?
Yes, I want to agree with you 100% on that. But let us not forget, we're also leaving another significant segment out. That is the growing proliferation of rural and urban radio stations. Yes, it's all over the place now.
Society is involved. Society is evolving. Things are changing. We're going to see more of that. Whether it's good, is bad, that's going to be happening on a daily basis. There's no way that's going to be going away right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to take you back to South Africa.
Toto, I think I sent that. Hold on 1 second, Dr. Mali. Dr. Toto, okay, let me just send again, but I believe I sent that link. You see, the liberal calling here people there now. So they you see, with the good conversation we having here, Dr. Toto and his group, they want to they coming again. They're coming, yeah. I current David, he get a bullhorn. He'd be calling his liberal group then. Let them come, we here. Hey, oh my goodness. Jesus Christ, they here, the Minnesota people here. They did it. So you see, the place is so quiet today, sunny here. Yeah, I mean, let's say right now, the place is so quiet, everybody flowing with all. Dr. Toto, I sent the link, is already out there. Dr. Mali.
Yeah.
The scripture is about to change.
Good evening.
But we're gonna hold our ground. Yeah, we're gonna hold our ground.
That your marriage you're having, affair you're having. I don't know what kind of ground you're gonna hold.
The member, saying he went for all Liberian conference, he never come with no report. He went Liberia, had a great time, he back again. Dr. Joyce Toto from Pittsburgh here is joining us. Dad, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen, studio.
Okay, it's Moses from Delaware, next to Buddy and Terry. Terry, you still in your Valentine wear? I love that color, that red and white. That's glamorous. I tell you, Pastor, they don't do that. Mr.
I'm not in Valentine color, Mr. Sue.
No, the red.
I don't celebrate Valentine.
Oh, okay. I thought that okay, guys.
No, I don't celebrate Valentine.
Good evening. I throw something in the chat there, but of course, you know, we allow people to also speak their mind. And I just thought of something different from all the too much of Tabata and the Newe, Prophet Key, do they eating pizza, you know, eating pizza, all the kind of things. There are no camera there, I don't see any. But I just think, considering the society, especially those of you in that view, like Dr. Mali, and even from our own common sense approach of issue, vocational education, I just think that is to build people's skill. And now looking at some numbers, Mauritius, Seychelles, Egypt, their vocational skill is high, in the 50s, and for which, according to what they survey and saying, it helps to create job opportunity for the young generation, for which they are like literally self-employed. And if we look at our country, where we came from, and see the kind of people that are roaming around, we're just wondering if government can be invest more into vocational education. You look at the country, perhaps you divide it into zones. I know MVTC is in Monrovia there, but if 2 or 3 of those can be divided into other regions, and allow people to be something that, okay, but you are entitled to your own tabata on the contrary if you have that. Welcome to the show. This is the Examiner. We are here to examine what is happening in our society. Now the house is in for, and of course, I know you guys know Dr. Male is the legitimate and only second co-host. So he has the easy pass when we pour people to others. So there's no way that the liberals going to roller skate here this evening. I just want you guys to know, if you're liberal, if you have the liberal ideology, just be aware of that. Good to have you, Dr. Sutoto. Good to see you, Moses. Yeah, let's hear you.
Who? Me or Dr. Tutu?
You want to start picking forward, Dr. Tutu?
No.
Let me start.
Well, let me say this. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good to have you here. Well, let's start with you, Moses. What news from Delaware?
Well, there's it got rain today, and hopefully the snow is melting away, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Good evening to everyone in the panel and to the listening audience out there. It's great, and happy Sunday. And I really was interested in what the conversation was that was going on earlier. And I don't have any particular thing that I want to bring to the table. There's so many. So I'm just going to piggyback off of what you guys started with. And I want to respond to what Dr. Mali was saying. So after the introduction, then I can make my remark.
Yeah, okay. Since you're in agreement with all you in our shoes, it's a clear victory for all.
No. I didn't say I'm in agreement with your shoes. I say I need to expand on what Dr. Mali was saying. Don't come be a peddler and try to bribe me. Because after Dr. Mali was talking, Monrovia has become the capital and all that. I want to give him some of my perspective on what he's talking about.
All right, hold it. I told you, nobody going to kind of put...
You're not going to put your shoes on my feet.
No, listen, let me just tell you, but you beware. Nobody going to be putting throat in the head of the co-host here this evening. Let's go to the Reverend. Reverend, let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So, and to everybody, Dr. Tutu and Mr. Sigby, Dr. Mali, and to the audience who want to say happy Sunday and good evening to all.
Okay.
But, yeah.
You on board with us as well? You join the wagon?
I don't know which wagon you're already on, but I will follow. If you're Johnny...
You rescue her and been there high. They don't want to get in trouble. I think the liberal is monitoring. But okay, that's what. Let's go to Pittsburgh. These progressive grandchildren and
I'm a progressive, and I will continue to be progressive. But the discussion, that of Korea reached out to me. The past few days, they say, why is it I'm not writing too many? Why I write on social media to talk about past government and all that thing? I've been so quiet now. I'm not writing. I'm not saying much. I mean, sometimes we keep quiet to observe and see how things play, and then sometimes we come out to discuss some of the issue. But I think the issue of the recent Prophet Key issue, I think it is an eye opener for us, for a lot of lessons to be learned. I've seen a lot of report for some of the people who call to be scholars in the law. They are come out, and we are seeing disagreement when it comes to those type of issue. But it's good for the discussion, and see public opinion, how people look at it. And also too, when Dr. Mali was speaking, talk about Monrovia, especially Dr. Mali we find ourselves in a situation research and things, and most of the research is done in Liberia. It's only based on Monrovia, the generalized across the whole country. When most of the NGO, World Health go, I don't think they go in the interior side. They take statistics from Monrovia and they generalize the whole country about it, and especially for me, my research trip, I made like around in the rural area, into that area, and I saw firsthand. I saw some schools where kids are still sitting on the floor, no chair. But
Dr. Toto from Toto Ta.
yeah. So statistics will show that the children more like broad really good, but those are statistics there from Monrovia, but those are things that are good for them to be discussing.
Okay, this seems to be a thing that makes the vegetables we're going to have for dinner here this evening. Dr. Mali, I told you these guys were going to come and they are going to kind of restructure what we try to do here. You saw the progressive now come. He came ever since. You know why he's not writing. I know why you're not writing. That you are part of the Bellway, so you want us to start going. You know what? Your pen, the ink, it didn't run out. You still have enough. You have a lot of pen. So you will tell all why you are not writing now. After attending the All Liberian Conference, you went and all of that, and then your pen goes dry. That's a different thing here. But anyway, guys, let's have a conversation here. These are all great conversations. We can take them bit by bit pieces and see what we can get. And of course, we're going to accommodate our audience as well to also have their say into what we are saying. Dr. Mali?
Yeah, I think from what Dr. Toto just said, because Bon County, I think, is one of the modern counties in Liberia. It adjacent to the hotspot, Monserrado County, is just some few hours distance. And if we want to consider it, but if we want to use that as a metric, and if he's saying from his own research and assessment that people still sitting on the floor or on stone or whatsoever, then this brings to mind that Liberia is too large to be rescued by one-term leadership. Then it seems to be the problem is very serious. But the question now is, as we as a government prioritize which area we should really focus, because it seems to be more attention is now being focused on urban education than rural education. I think this is what I'm seeing now, because we had a discussion the last time. And when the concentration is in the urban area, in the rural counties, there's the possibility for them to even cut off the rural sector, you see. So down, maybe the next thing that'll come to my mind now is, should education start from the rural now, from our development packages start from the rural to the urban, rather than from the urban to the rural? This is one question that have just come to mind.
Okay, let's see who the analyst is going to get a response or make some deliberations. Let me throw this to Dr. Toto. He helps to dish this all out here. Dr. Toto, what do we start from?
So, like, just to beat all Dr. Mali's point, you guys all know that when it comes to rural education and urban education, before the war, we have the best schools in the rural area, especially high schools. If you go to Lofa, you hear about the LTR. For example, my mother when you go to Grand Junior County, you hear about Bishop Jewel High School. You go to Sano, you have a Sano High. You go to Maryland, you have a St. Francis. If you Kakata, you have a St. Augustine. BWR, those were premier schools, that set the basis for education in rural Liberia. They have to compete with schools in the urban area in Monrovia. We have education competition. We don't call one the challenge competition questions.
Yeah.
So these were the golden old days of Liberia education system. It was built across all sectors, and you could feed the Jews. Even when a child come from the rural area, they come to school in Monrovia, you don't find no deficiency in that child, that older child coming from the rural area, coming to school in the Monrovia area. But for now, we have reached into a system where everything has just collapsed. And it's not just upon one person that Dr. Mata said, the rescue government, they have so many priorities. You know, in every political system, people have that slogan to use to win the mind of the people. So the rescue mission came with their slogan to win the mind of the people. But there's a bigger picture that will be done, especially address the issue of education.
So who going to point out this missing gap, this rescue? Because, and this is why, you know, when we hold people often, because the slogans, the code that you use kind of give us a sense of, okay, they're going to be a holistic approach. They're going to be a set of priorities. And there are things that we are looking for here. But what is the missing gap? I tend not to go politics this evening, but there's nothing.
Oh, that's a good. It's good point. I think the missing gap. The missing gap here. We also put the rescue mission to be where they are to be later. But I think the rescue mission also to sit back also and look at some of the strides they are made into the area of the income education authority and look at the bigger picture also to come to the country.
Okay, okay, well, all right. Let's spin it around here. Moses, let me just bring you. We're still on this here.
Yeah.
Then and now.
Okay.
Then we were disabled when it comes to the usage of technology, to modern technology, but still people, you know, did what they could do. Now we have we have an open society with the influence of social media, people, the Google, the AI, and all of these things kicking in here. This seems to be a reflection of some of the argument we already put on this network here, how to structure institutions to remain regardless of what. We also know that the Civil War came in, but I'm not going to be the one to be talking about, because of the World War. Afterwards, the country develops, things happen. So why are we not progressing? There seems to be a sort of a delay here, according to what I'm gathering and what Dr. Toto is saying. Why people think the Republic of Liberia is just only that enclave of Monrovia and they are not going beyond. And this is why I don't like this pool business here. Yesterday, today, election here, who will win? We are not conducting the kind of pool we're supposed to conduct to the electorate. We need to tell them, and that's why the politician gets away, because we need to give them the choices why they want to elect people who have the best economic plan, who have the best health care plan, who have the best plan, education, all of that. But we just call 3%, today your vote, who will win? We're not doing good for the country. We're not doing good for the society. What have you?
So all that thing you told, I want you went to answer to. You talk plenty. So you will give me plenty time.
The independent voices won't confuse you.
I know. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to do that. Then he will cut me short and say, no. I know what the strategy is. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You know, I told you funny. I had my pastor preached well today. Now you want to put here to make me into something here. But look, on a serious note here.
Dr. Toto, don't buy that thing. Please, I beg you.
Yeah,
That's a trap. They set the trap already when the key had been talking about Monrovia. Then Dr. Mali said I had talked about Monrovia has become the capital. You didn't know that? Say you were born? You didn't know that? That Monrovia was Liberia? That's where everything started? You didn't know that since its formation? Nowhere else was the capital. Just that Washington is the capital. Everything happens in Washington. Monrovia, everything happens in Monrovia. That's where we have our executive mansion, Capitol building, Temple of Justice. Everything happens over there. And that's what happened. Let me come to the education aspect. You see, let's not forget that during the evolving of technology, this IA, all these things, while people were learning, Liberia was entrenched in a civil war with no education happening. That's where the gap started to form itself. Now, for some of us who went to school in Liberia, prior to the coup, 1989, we knew that there was a standardized, as Dr. Toto was talking about, the standardized curriculum nationwide. Every school had to teach civics for Liberian school. Every school had to teach geography, English. There was specific curriculum that every school had to teach when they went to go teach. And for the vocational program over there, we have ETC, we had the other people in NEMA, we had the technical school, the teaching institutes, and all of those things were in place to create the foundation for advancing in education. We had those things. And when Dr. Toto said most of the better education came from the interior, he was right. People used to come from the interior. A guy came and just, dudes, and, as we use the word, a young man from Grand Julia, I remember when I was in high school, never entered school in Monrovia. That man came, when that guy came to the university, before he came there, his average was like A+, 4.0 throughout. Because that foundation was built when he was a kid, and that's how we started. So when we look at the educational sector and talking about the rescue government, the time gap was too long for us. And between now, since the war ended to now, is too short for us to find ourselves competing with the rest of the world. The rest of the world are going on. They're far ahead of us. We cannot bring ourselves to the standard of the rest of the world. We got to take baby steps. And I think that's where we try to fool ourselves. But everybody on the panel left Liberia by some way or croak. In my generation,
What are you talking about?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. In my generation, we left Liberia saying that we were going to go in further studies, for further studies. And this further study was supposed to bring us back, okay, to the country. We learn something, we go back to the country so we can introduce it and advance our country, because we lived there. We knew what was lacking, or we didn't know what was lacking, but we lived the condition we lived. So we left. Now, for us to go back, we have the resources to go back. And we should be looked at as resources, not liability. And I keep saying that. But when you have people there who don't think that what you bring to the table is more of a resource than you being a challenger, then it creates a problem. And that's what we are, from my own opinion.
Yeah, so quickly before I go to Terry here, I'm not going to allow people to say something and leaves apprehensions to our audience and me as a facilitator here. Who people there? People, who are the people you're talking about?
What do you mean?
You said those people there, they don't, who are the people you're talking about?
There are people who are in authority, who feel challenged by the diaspora population. And we know that they want to continue their status quo.
Okay.
They want to continue the status quo, so they feel that people who have learned, and that is not to exclude some of those people from the diaspora who are in fact there now and trying to do these things. That is not to excuse them. But people literally that are there, looking at other folks coming in and challenging them because they feel that their bread and butter is being threatened.
All right.
Whatever they're doing is being threatened.
Thank you so much. Terry.
Yeah, Mr. Two.
What's your own view, opinion on this? It's a Tabata coming from.
But Mr. Two, I think Dr. Tutu and Mr. Sigbe have said a lot. Monrovia is the center of all activities due to the high level of, that's where the budget is decided for the whole country. And due to the poverty, high level poverty in the rural area, everybody seems to gravitate to Monrovia. In fact, Monrovia supply the entire rural area with goods and services. So the Monrovia is the center of everything, So as a result, this is where the discussion for the rest of the country is had. And we can see the proof in the elections, the electoral results shows you that everything that is discussed in Monrovia decides the outcome. So because all the various counties, they're all going to follow in alignment with what is discussed in Monrovia, because Monrovia is the hub for, for discussion for everything that goes on in and out of the country. Even though our people in the rural area vote on the basis of tribalism and all the kind of thing, so as a result, most of the representatives, the senators, they decide they choose in an election period, decide the outcome of the elections. That is why it's very important for any political party to not overlook the representatives and the senators. And we saw that during the election, this going election 2023, when they overlooked Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Cohn, the ruling establishment suffer greatly. So we're going to also see similar things happening. And the people also in the rural area vote on the basis of development, based upon what you do for them. They're going to look at you, they're going to see you. But if you look at all the elections been happening, the voters, the decision of what goes on in Monrovia is what the voters will decide on in the rural area. And that I've seen the trend over the years. But when it comes to education, you talk about the vocational training process. It's very essential for our country. I think we need to focus in that area. We have not really put much strength in that area. And I think it's going to have an impact on our society for the workforce.
Okay, Dr. Mali. I'm coming. Let me lay the foundation, because I forecast this whole time. These guys are going to come here. This sort of concept, us versus them. We who from the countryside, these guys have deployed a strategy. They are simply telling us we will continue to remain where we are. Why it is true, Monrovia is the capital, is the hub of the country.
You see what you're doing?
It's seen as a distribution point.
You see what you're doing?
The wealth of the country will be rushed to the rest of the Liberian people. But we have these guys, they are telling us, oh, Dr. Mali, yeah, when you're talking, that now you know that Lamora capital, that now you know Abuja, the now city.
Why do you do this?
And the Reverend came to validate his whole argument. Another Washington is here, so welcome, the man from North Dakota, Fargo, legendary James Akwe. Dr. Mali, what are these things down? Let our audience get a good takeaway, because these guys, I don't know.
Yeah, let's first of all start with according to Dr. Toto, the golden days. I really don't know whether we had a golden days. Probably we did not see the weaknesses and the strength of education at that time. Those were dark days.
Are you kidding me?
So whether we had our spectacle to really examine and make assessment of the strength and weaknesses of education those days is another thing to really peruse. But here is the issue. When we say Liberia had the best education days, those best education days were based on the back of the open door policy that brought in Sierra Leoneans, that brought in Guineans, that brought in Nigerians, the Ghanaians. Those days you send your children to a school where Ghanaians are teaching, it qualify as good schools. All right? So these things, we accredit it to the foreigners who help to nurture those foundations. We had Liberians supporting these people. I have not seen the record
where at one point or another point, where our government was able to send people to study and replace these people up to the war. And so when the war came, these people fled. Then there's a noise around that we now suffering from brain drain. No, we are not. The foreigner just left. And after the war, we all scatter and we're all going back now. It's about now, it is this era now, Liberians are returning to start constructing their own educational foundation.
What?
That's my first point of assessment. And the second point of assessment, which is a challenge to Moses and the men of God. Where is the location and the dignity of Bentor? Let's go back to history.
What?
Bentor, wasn't Bentor, or is not Bentor the capital city of Monserrado County? And Moria being one of the key administrative centers where everybody is gravitating. When the gravitation started, it never started before the war. It started after the war. All the refugees came back home and stopped in Morovia. All right? People started, the chiefs, they abandoned their farms and other things. They all moved into Morovia now, went Kosu and looking for political job. Right? So the question now is, Morovia, being a capital city, is one of the key administrative centers according to my assessment and my research. Right? I have not seen anywhere in our history where Morovia had replaced Bentor, which is constitutionally known as the capital city of Monserrado County. So to answer your question, Moses, these are the facts that I have gathered from my research. But the question now is, why Morovia now have become the epic center, the hub? We can't answer that.
I'm going to answer it.
All right. And yes, I know you will answer that. And so the educational system in the rural area, all the other places, we don't even know whether there was a gap. Since 1847 or to 1826, we don't even know whether there was a gap. Those were dark days. So if people say, oh, we're in the interior, we used to spare this thing, and we're on top of things, this and that. Well, what the assurance that you are even giving the right education? Those were dark days. Our eyes were closed.
Oh my God.
Of course. It's not that the modern education is rather picking up now at a speed.
I said you need to pray for this guy.
Don't interrupt me, Moses. They begin to pick up now with certain level of speed. So those days were dark days.
Terry,
we didn't even know the weaknesses, even the University of Liberia. We're all down there propping these things and helping us and putting us on the map.
Wow.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Dr.
Terry, please pray for this man on your break.
Moses, Terry said he said he needs a
this is a deflection. You don't understand it. This is a deflection. The matter is on a deflection. That's why he's on. And I'm not going to follow him down that road.
Yeah, I see you putting from one place to another. And,
Hey, you. It's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Welcome. This is the Examiner Sunday's edition. Scanning cross country in North Dakota, we have James Akwe. In Pennsylvania, Dr. George Toto. into Delaware.
Did you say James Akwe in Pennsylvania?
I said North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
If you want to move to Dr. Toto, that's okay.
No.
You have Terry Collins in the Iceland of Minnesota. But let's go to PA where Dr. Toto. Dr. Toto, Dr. Mali, what I call a soft court operations is being performed by Dr. Mali, and people crying, baby cry, asking people for intercessory prayer and all of that. That's not strange to me. I expected that to happen. But look, come in. We all know Monrovia is the hub. But when goods come from in deep sea, they have to be uploaded. And when they are uploaded, what we are seeing, what Dr. Mali and myself saying, and the other side didn't see that, they say we are not part. We are saying there must be a distribution. They should ration it to the other part. They don't see it that way. They don't want it that way. They want it to be stagnant, and so we are excluded. The thing is okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah. So let me just make a point out. First of all, I am a country boy. I'm a rural town boy. I'm not a Monrovia boy.
Welcome in our corridor.
I am from Totota, born and raised in Totota, when it's in Totota.
Okay.
Let me get that established. Dr. Mali point, looking at those days to link our education system to a sad day in our history is it kind of sad to hear from Dr. Mali tonight. Why it is true that, first of all, let's look at our population before the war, in terms of our population, where were we before those days? And for the fact that we have one or two foreigners that came to fill the gap to teach some of those schools in Liberia, it does not neglect the fact that we have one of the best education systems in Liberia, especially rural Liberia that I know of. I'm not too familiar people in the Monrovia side, but I know about rural Liberia. We have best schools in area. And to our credit, some of the teachers from Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, whatsoever, they help to beef our system. We came, some of that came from rural area, we went to Monrovia school. We compete with people in the Monrovia area. There was no deficiency. You could not identify a child who went to school in the rural area and came in the urban area for school. We were all on our same level of education. So there was no gap that was there so far that we can say they identify. The gap only resulted in, like Brother Moses said, when the war was fighting, other countries were advancing in the education system, was still struggling to put our pieces together. And looking at Monrovia to be the whole, it's true. Monrovia is the political capital. There where things are put together. But if that was any, they cannot forget about the rural area. They have to be able to decentralize some of the activity in the rural area to make it more attractive. Since the war, we have people that live in the village of CEO, people who are terrorized by those guys, those rebels. People left all in the rural area. They came back on the city area, in the town area. Now they are built a family. They are built upon family now. To return, it's very difficult. Even for us in the diaspora, yeah, we had two groups of Liberians in the diaspora, yeah, that Brother Moses was saying. We had the first group of people that came here for study. After study, they also go back and contribute to development Liberia. They didn't go to working. We had the second group of people that came as a refugee, who came here, they established family. Then to go back home, it's very difficult. They already have family. I will put in my own situation. When I went to Liberia recently, Cotitor wanted to hire me into the graduate program. And I found it difficult because I have family. I had to consult with my family. I can't just leave my family to just go to Liberia and start contributing. So all those factors, we put that into consideration. But that was we owe it to Liberia. But we cannot sit and say it was a dark days, those days. No, I disagree with Dr. Madi on that thing.
Thank you so much. Let me go to Akwe and I'll come to Moses. Let Akwe get a piece of the pie. Akwe, welcome.
Yeah, how are you and Mr. So, and how are you? How everyone, all the panelists there? it's great, and I mean, it's wonderful out there, and happy and Valentine's Sunday to everyone, especially to those who are married. Yeah.
That's stop you from being married. Oh.
Let me bring out the lot of-
Yeah. This is what they do here. Nobody stop you. The girl, no, go ahead.
I just
Let's hear.
something. Yeah, but are we looking at Morovia? I mean, why is it that Morovia is crowded? Is that what we're really looking at? Why is it that people really cannot go back? You know.
But we want us to be for you to be situated, and then that is okay here. But we are looking at the varieties of what I will consider the deficiencies of some of the issues, challenges of the education. So I first started with vocational education. There's a need, and then all apostles, other aspects began to kick in, which of course also are up to that. But the central point here was there's a need for vocational education, maybe to make it more progressive. Consider where we came from as a country, as a people, to make people to be more skillful. If you look at Mauritius, Seychelles, Egypt, their numbers in vocational educations and all the other countries coming down with the TVET program and all of that. What are the TVET? Of course, it's in Liberia, but it's been properly utilized. Or only Morovia is the direct beneficiary. What happens to people in Sano, in River G, in Grand Gidet, and other places? I mean, rural Liberia and stuff like that. Do they have to come to Morovia in order to be a beneficiary? If that's the case, then why? Why other people are isolated? Because these are resources. These are all services being provided by national government. So it should be a portion to everybody. Let me hear you before I go to Mose.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about TVET education, or I mean technical schooling, you know, I would describe technical education as key towards, I mean, in national development, and that which can serve as a critical linchpin when it comes to unlocking, I mean, doors of development, moving the country forward, preparing people for the job market. And I think what we really need, I mean, it's a much more aggressive program when it comes to, I mean, TVET program, and very aggressive, I mean, across, if one would say, not across the 15 political subdivision, but I mean, somehow regionally based. We can say, I mean, let the government be able to set up one in central Liberia, Bon County, another one maybe in the southeast, another one in western Liberia, maybe 3 or 4. And to a large extent, I think that will be able to help. And it will also, I mean, help to, I mean, reduce the mass migration of people, from rural Liberia to Morovia, because everything just centralized. I don't know, but years back I heard about the Booker Washington Institute, where people graduated and did, some technical training, like William V. taught me how. And if there's a need, I think we should be able to replicate those practices and make it much more forceful, and distribute those and ideas to other parts of the country. And that would mean more budgetary support for the education sector, and send people out for training. Yes, I mean, and when they are trained, wherever they go, they should be able to return to the country and be able to contribute towards, sustained economic and national development. I know about a division of scholarship there at the Ministry of Education, where people used to be sent, I mean, out of the country, I mean, to Russia and other places, because like years back, I knew too well. I mean, an uncle of mine was able to leave Liberia, and he got a scholarship. He went to Russia, did mathematics and physics. And, he returned, and And when he returned, and he told me, he said, James, a lot of these guys go back, and they don't want to come. And I think that's one of the problems there. The government invested into, made some very serious investment into the lives of people, but then you see that these people will come in the Western world, get education, and it's difficult to go back. So it tends to weigh in, on a number of issues, on a number of factors, because when the government spend the money and you come and learn, they will expect that you go back, you be able to contribute. So it's a whole ball ground of it's a whole round of issues. Things that really need to be tackled, and we're talking about tackling them. Using serious money and with executing them and being forceful, like I said earlier. I think to a large extent it will help. To reduce this mass movement of people from rural Liberia because sometimes one time I heard somebody said, Monrovia was created for only 350,000 people. But then what was the plan? And what was the next option? 350,000 people. People should have realized that there will be increase in population. And yes, so there was a need to see. Yeah.
Let's leave it. I'm about to go to, this is sad. You see, Dr. Mali, how these guys scramble over his words, and Dr. Toto came on the other side to the rescue of the rescuer's family, which is not strange. Dr. Mali just used some metaphorical words of the hardship, the adversity, the hard time that we all experience. Nobody here can dispute that. My village, I used to walk, 1 hour, 30 minutes, my own town going to toll town before even moving to Sando demonstration and then coming out. Those were the hard time. Those were the sorrowful time. Those are the reflections Dr. Mali is talking about, the dark days. Of course, we all went through tough time, but most of you didn't smell that tough time. So you have no idea what Dr. Mali is saying. And for somebody from the progressive side who also led this sort of trouble that we get ourselves in today, to be the one, to be the clean guy here now, that is just troubling. But let me go to Delaware here. Maybe Joe Biden and gave him some extra things to add up. So Dr. Mali, just hold your peace. We're going to make it fair and balanced. We do not sanction voices here. When we disagree, we put it into national discourse and we'll talk about it. I see you walking, moving left and right. What, something biting you in your chair, Moses? We're not hearing you. Unmute your mic. Then I mean, touch you. You see my hand?
I'm safe. I think the Reverend said a prayer for me during the halftime.
Who right now?
You don't need to know that. But here on a serious note, come on now. And you guys keep making these assertions when we talk about the country, growing up in the country and what have you. Come on. Many of us grew up in the interior. I used to go to the creek to fetch water. I used to break wood on my head. When I come from school in Vanjima, before they start cooking, by the time they finish cooking, at about 5 o'clock, we're getting ready for bedtime. So we all went through that route. I don't consider those dark days. I consider those days as growing up and getting to understand the culture, the way of life as a young man. And that's what and it instills certain values in me that I still carry today. So Dr. Mali is making broad statement that Liberia lacked education because of what happened in the past. I can tell you one thing though. Let me let you know.
Don't misquote me.
Liberia, no, you said it. And the people who watching, they know what you said.
No.
So, hear what it is. Don't interrupt me, Dr. Mali. Please don't interrupt me. Let me say my piece like you say your piece. And you and your CEO there, you're finished conniving to do this thing today. So So let me
And,
answer
and
some of the
that
things
and
you
that the
said.
money we have talked for long, So let's
Yeah,
give
he let
money
him
the
talk for a
time
long
get it.
time, but it
Yeah.
interrupt us quick.
You're taking away your time. The
You
time
see?
you.
So anyway, let me let you know, Dr. Mali. On the continent of Africa, we have one of the best medical universities on the continent of Africa. People came there to go to school at our medical university, our medical school. Just to know, just so you can know. I'm not sure you got bald hair. I'm not sure how old you are, but I
Wow.
can tell you,
This-
before when Tolbert came in and they had BDR and the vocational school in Maryland, the intention of bringing vocational schooling in Liberia during the Tolbert administration was through the multilateral. That was the intention of building Vonja multilateral and Zedru multilateral. Now, when we talk about the education piece, the vocational education, let me give you some of the benefits of it. It's cost effective to a pathway for employment. Okay, very cost effective. That you graduate from vocational school, you go straight to employment. These are some of the benefits that he was talking about when I was a young man growing up. Before, when the MCSS schools were built, they were built, and he wanted to replicate them in the interior when he came there. So he had a vision, and that's what he's my best president in my lifetime. Tolbert was okay. It helps the training, helps people. Once you get that training from vocational once you get that training, it jump-started a career for you. These are things that he talked about back in the day, so that he wanted to introduce more vocational schools and not just BDR and the Tottenham Vocational School in Maryland County, which was far away. And the training was looking at certain areas: industry, healthcare, technical, and skilled trades. That's what he was introducing until we had the coup. So these are things some of us saw in the country. It was advancing. If the war had not come, today would have been way advanced. To come here, and it's unfair to come here and say that the present administration is responsible for the issues we're having. No, y'all keep talking about rescue. Y'all keep talking about rescue government.
Oh.
Y'all just said on the show, y'all said the rescue people, the rescue government. There's only this administration has ever talked about rescue government. So you guys need to get your story straight. And Dr. Mari, I don't know where you're getting your thing from to call Liberia the dark days, but I can tell you, Liberia was up and on top of the world when Liberia fostered the independence of so many countries on the continent of Africa. So they had to have had some education. We had to have had some educated people who thought that way. When you talk about Miriam Makeba, them going, Harry Belafonte, the late Harry Belafonte, was in Liberia at the University of Liberia, and we know who he is. And we saw some real formidable people who went through Liberia. So I think you need to do more of a research when it comes to the education system than decrying the education system that we had in the past. We have a standardized curriculum, and we don't know what happened to it today. And the only reason we can put it to is that because of the Civil War, everything broke down. And it's going to not take overnight to restore that piece.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Mali, you're going to come in. I'm not going to speak for you.
Yeah, because now you're meeting, you're having and coming here.
Hold on, you're talking, nobody into
dark days.
Hold on. I say it here, I am sick and tired of this whole because of the war. How many years today, how many governments have we had in place? And because of this war, what is our next door? What are they doing?
Oh.
And you guys have to deal with this, whether you like it or not. We will always make reference to what is to the reality. And the reality is the government are in place. By calling the name of the government does not suggest, or we are not saying it is this government that caused everything. But this concept, the war, yeah, the war came. There was a good side, there's a bad side. Some people are not going to come to America walking. They came to America. Some people different thing. It's a good side. And every country, what we are saying, in most cases, every country develops after the war because of the exposure and learn different things. But Dr. Mali, let me just bring you in here. I said this here that these guys are going to come and going to turn the whole table upside down.
Terry not talking today?
And that's exactly.
So the pastor not talking today?
Terry finished talking. What's your problem?
He hasn't said a word. Where you coming from? That thing y'all on today? Oh, man. If we go to Terry, you go straight to Dr. Mali again.
Moses, you the lead Anthony now for Terry? Terry again?
Yeah, because myself, I'm surprised, you know.
Yeah, but Terry pray for me.
Yeah, to go back to Dr. Mali again because Dr. Mali just spoke.
Or the 4th time. But it's okay. We will follow.
Well, you deal with the situation you have at this time. Okay. Well, all right.
We'll call the Lpr. Don't worry, Terry. When the Lpr come out, we'll see what happens.
Now you want to water the whole thing. You talk about the Lpr building at the end of course, Terry was continuing until the Lpr can come. Dr. Mali, just where these people they're trying to file fault on us at all costs. Let me hear you. Since you're let me hear you.
So it's a strategist. You already know what's up. But
wow, this is unbelievable. These men there, they all
Terry,
have
the both of them from the same state, Rhode Island.
Yeah, the other day I saw Dr. Mali.
They had a meeting all day today. They didn't do nothing.
Wow.
They were talking about nothing.
I see why they have deflected also something else.
I know.
We're just discussing something now, what major thing. But here's the thing, Mr. So, you have a point. Dr. Mali do have a point. But everybody is saying almost the same thing, but just slight differences. I think Mr. Sigwe is right. Due to the war, there were so many. Mr. Sigwe and Dr. Tutu is right. The war destroyed Liberia. Look at the condition of the country, Mr. So. There is no way you can compare Liberia. The growth of Liberia economy was compared prior to the war was, I think, compared to China or Japan, one of the GDP of Liberia. So Liberia were on the trajectory of a high economic growth than to other West African countries. So if we would have not fought this senseless war, I don't think the economy of Liberia would have been in the same condition. Because there was a progress. Dr. Mali talked about Bento being the capital city of Montserrat, and why is Monrovia? These are unnecessary discussions.
Wow.
How does that matter? The political capital is Monrovia. That is where most things are discussed. That is where all the infrastructure is built. Who cares whether Bento was the Wanimboto capital? What trajectory does that have on the man in how you call the place? In Todi? Because like many Liberians, they don't even know that Todi is part of Montserrat County. Some of them have never been there. You see? But we must understand that it was because of the war that many people gravitate to Monrovia, and thereby the pressure is on Monrovia. That is why we have more diet in the city. We have, the unemployment rate is high because everybody is clustered into one place. So it will take a government that will be able to, you have to decentralize the economy. Once you start decentralizing the economy and jobs can move into other rural areas, then you will depopulate Montserrat County. And when you do that, then we'll see progression of schools, genuine institutions, and all these things. But these things will take time. This is not something instantaneous. And Mr. Segwe is right. It is on, you guys are trying to pin this on the USQ government. That is why we're discussing this. It's not far-fetched from trying to pin it on the rescue government. That is why the discussion is being held. Thank you.
A lot of those people came because of safety, seeking safety to the city.
Most of you gotta wait for your time.
No, you gotta wait for your time.
Dr. Mali, we can do this. Let's have some civility. Dr. Mali. Dr. Mali,
Part 3.
We are being indicted by the second Beze.
Oh.
Beze number one from Delaware. But look, let's hear you, Dr. Mali. Then I'll go.
My man, you call the pastor Bese, my man.
Chief Justice, the man said that one.
Yeah, but
I got playing Chief Justice, you will go. So that one, anything.
well, I want us to set the record straight here, because it seems to be now people are ganging up to misquote me, and the listeners are watching.
Okay.
I said the good old days, as Dr. Toto talked about, the golden days. I said those were dark days. We didn't understand even the weaknesses or the strength of education those days. So our conclusion was they were golden days. Fine. And secondly, those days were based our good education, like what Moses just talked about, Dr. Leati and other places. They were based on the back of foreigners who boost the system. That is a fact. Okay? They boost the system, and so we have good education at that time. Whether the education had weaknesses or strength, we didn't know. So I didn't say it was not there. So that one point of correction. And the second point of correction here is, if we are seeing that the war came, there's the reason why things are going the way they are going. The war destroys structure. If the educational ministry did put in policy, did the war destroy the policy? Well, most of them will answer that one day. Because I know the war kill people, it destroys structure. So if our argument that policy in the war had not come, like bro will move, then the policy we should go back to it been 23 years.
You're kidding me?
It been 23 years on a 4 administration right now. It is 23 years. What happened to the policy then? It disappeared? It vanished in thin air?
Wow. Its policy will
no,
structure.
I come in. Educational policy.
We can do that.
If you put policy in place, the policy guard how you run the system.
Let me make a statement. But
Okay?
not be asking questions.
The policy doesn't come from heaven.
Moses,
it's drafted by man.
And
lastly, I said it was big. It was what? It was constructed on the back of foreigners who took advantage of William V.S. Tubman open door policy, opening Liberia up for people to come to help.
Okay.
Yeah. Two, Bentor is still on record. I know Morovia is an active administrative center. I don't know Morovia to be the capital city of Monserrado County. This is what my research tells me. I yield.
Thank you so much. Dr. Toto, I'll be coming online. Hold on, please. I mean, we left for you before it rotates. So when it comes from Dr. Toto, I keep track of what's happening. So let me go to the
CEO. Sorry, man, I left one line up.
Oh my God.
Where you left it?
Yeah, the line I left here is, if our educational system were that great, it was 1964 when 4 counties just saw the light for the first time. Nima, Grand Jira, and Lofa. So I don't know how that educational system was working around that time. Secondly, 1965, 9 counties started seeing the light. So I don't know what educational policy was there at that time for rural education. I yield. Thank you.
Dr. Toto will come to that. But let me go to Connecticut, where our analyst, Wotton Ketter, is on the line. Ketter, let's hear you.
My God.
Thank you, and I'd like to say hi to the panelists and hi to this audience. A beautiful conversation today, but I listen to the security analysts. Sometimes it's good. I mean, we are not that old, but again, we know history. When
our people, I mean, holistically, when we talk about things were good in Liberia back in the days before our civil war, that's a disservice to that country and to the people that suffered and were marginalized for so long. It's a complete disservice for the security analysts to sit on this platform and tell Liberian people that things were good. Yeah, things were good for Monrovia. Monrovia is not Liberia. Liberia, and the thing about it that the security analyst was sitting on this platform because apparently he grew up in Monrovia. His opportunity was in Monrovia. So he cared less about after Monrovia, all the rest of the country was he didn't care. And Mr. The doctor just gave a historical analysis right here. 1964, when people start to see light outside of Monrovia, schools are not even there at that time. You understand? So how you expect the country to be that developed or educationally and all the whole 9 yards? It's not going to work. Right after 1964, when Tubman died, Tubman came in. We still have scammages here and there. Then Cool came. Then Doe came with his own. Every day was scammages. Schools are opening here and there.
Kidding me?
Civil War. We have civil war that carry everybody outside the country and just disoriented everybody to the extent where our educational system collapsed. It's true that Monrovia-based education was one of the best education in the region because we have people from this side of the world that went over there and started to educate our people. For the first time Africa saw civilization, it was in Monrovia. It was not in Liberia. Generally, you have to go to Monrovia. So the rest of the country, the people that were in Nima County, Bon County, Lofa County, nobody could come from Osa and go to Nima County and see education, or go to Lofa County and see education, or Bon County or Grand Bassa. They only went to Monrovia. They left Monrovia and went by Osa. They said Liberia was a beautiful country. They didn't care about the rest of the country. And so when we say that, let's be very sincere with our people so we can heal what our founder put us in.
Thank you so much. Dr. Toto, I really want you to cap this because this other man from North Dakota, he's spinning inside his head and all of that. But I want you to cap this here, but let me go to him. You listen to the gentleman from Delaware, the gentleman from Minnesota. Let's listen to the gentleman from North Dakota, and then we'll come to Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know. It's risky making you a presiding officer in this sort of case here too, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you that absolute power. Because Dr. Toto, I'm not going to give you that absolute power.
He doesn't want to offend Dr. Bali.
Yeah, see, I was just sitting by where I can't hear that always going all back to back one another. But the thing is, when Canada call or such a network to make the type of claim, they should do a little bit of research and just to come out to just call. When it comes to before Bon County, Lofa Grand Junior County, because counties in the Republic of Liberia. So you want to come and tell other there were no schools, or area they used to call preferences those days. Is that what you come and tell us? Even right in Lofa County, Dr. Mali County, LTI, when LTI was built.
There you go. Thank you.
When LTI was built, was it after Lofa County become a county before LTI was built? Even in Bon County, even Totota, the Totota Lottery Mission, which was one of the premier schools in Bon County. Where was the Lottery Mission built in Totota? It was in the 5th year. And where Bon County and County started. So when we set it to make
Bolahu Mission School in Bolahu.
When we set to make the type of claim, that will have some facts towards it. You can't just tell me so because the county had county start off before liking to the county. No, I disagree with that.
Thank you so much.
And
okay.
No, go ahead, Kato.
And I continue to say, for me, I'm a rural town boy. I went to school in a rural county. And I know why it takes I went to school. I know the education I got from rural Liberia before I went to Monrovia to school. And like Moshe was saying, in terms of education, I went to school in Nigeria when I walked in. during the war, I went to school in Nigeria. I did electrical engineering at the university in Nigeria. And I know my education, I came from Liberia. I compete with Nigeria there at the engineering level. And while we could hear at that time, they all respect Liberia kind of medical school and law school, had the two best in the whole region.
Yes.
Medical and law school in that whole region were respected in no category. And what Mother Eddie Johnson said he did because of the war, that gap in our education system to build our human capital. Mother Eddie Johnson said he decided to open community colleges in bureaucratic town, cities that today we see community college all over. Some of the community college now, Lpr-Tv University started now. The Grand Union County Community College has become a university now. The Bon County Community College has got university started now. That's what Madam Sally did to try to build human capital to fill out the gap for the education system in Liberia. So we are based on strive. The government of Liberia, I'm not just giving the credit to Madam Eddie Johnson said it, even President, we have to I know they did some effort to try to beat the education gap.
Support.
Education. That's why President we came and said, well, you know what, I will pay wire fee for the student. That's why he did in the time. You know, and so we can't just dismiss everything to say, oh, we didn't have a good system, the working or the other country didn't have country status. Then before we got the light, I know I disagree with that. Seriously.
Okay. Akwe.
Yeah.
So what we can, because the reason we are having the upcoming, the reason we're having the conversation is not just those of us on the live view, people that are falling to, they want to get a takeaway in order to make an informed decision. So when someone is talking, we can just listen, maybe jot down notes, and then you can counteract. I mean, the good thing we always have, we don't throw anybody in the back here. It's not a liberal he get Chani. I don't operate Chani phone. Dr. Mari don't operate Chani phone. We are so the people who have those North Korean ideology, Karen don't call them that way, but he.
Oh my God.
Now we are the North Korean. That's okay. Let's hear you, Akwe.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the words of former U.S. Secretary of State, Herman Cohen, that was on the BBC. To just rephrase, he said, Liberia seems to be heading to full-scale war, and looking at ongoing damages is going to take decades. It's going to take years to resettle this country and be able to reshape this country again. So yes, President Tauber, education under President Tauber was great. He tried to modernize Liberia's education system and by empowering citizens through education. So we saw the opening up on the expansion of vocational and training and centers. We saw the construction of multilateral and schools, vocational centers. We saw teacher training, colleges across like Izozo, and I think we saw agriculture cooperatives and rural development centers.
Correct.
So look here, all of these initiatives cracked down as a result of the Civil War. Trust me. And like in the words of the former U.S. Secretary of State, I just said, look, it's going to take time. It's going to take huge length of time. It's going to take like years. So that's why, some of us, whenever there's election, we try to encourage Liberians, to go out for the best, thinking about maybe the cream de la cream, people who have the wherewithal or the solutions to be able to answer some of the intriguing questions of our time. Because Liberia at the time was somehow better, that's why you saw Ghanaians, Ivorians, or Sierra Leoneans trooping into the country. And sometimes it was said they come into Petit American. Those are things that we heard, And Guineans all came around. They came around because things were okay. Lamco, okay, and other, concessions across the country. Things were just moving. Then in 1989, there was this incursion, set the country back, destroy infrastructure, damage the hard road. Years back, we never used to struggle about things like electricity and the rest of it. No. But because of those damages, today we continue to experience it. LA came. Like my brother said, still in the era of education, she started opening technical schools, colleges across the 15 political subdivision and tried to put in some serious money into it. But then we saw a little slack in that. When Liberians went another way, you know, to another candidate. And I don't want to. I know people listening will try to get at me, but Liberia made a very serious mistake. When they elected, like the guys will say, a lucky grenade ball as president of the country. Look, the guy damaged and set the country back. Trust me, that's what really happened. And now, what do we see happen in the country? We see that President Boakai is trying to breathe air and resurrect.
Are you listening when you're talking, when the moderator call your attention, then you take a break? Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening to our break.
Yeah.
I know, and I put monkey rain there too.
We don't, we got to call things as it is. We all have differences with people, with their policy, their leading star. But when those sort of hard warriors are deployed, and of course, everybody have their own follower. And when those people come back to use that, I'm quite sure it will be unacceptable. I don't think it's the dignified way to call a former president, whether you agree with him or disagree with him. I think we should take it on that line.
Okay, so I can take that back. I can take it back. But then, I can take it back. So you see, the country took a nosedive towards doom, towards self-destruction. What do we see happening now? We see somehow a rebirth of a nation. We see a nation that is emerging again to stand up and begin to run. But again, it's going to take some time, We all somehow just have to be patient. Somehow, the smart man will say, patience is wisdom walking slowly. If you look at the arrest agenda of President Boakai, trust me, there are good things in there to be able to move the country forward, talking about roads, connectivity, talking about electricity, talking about education, talking about health care. Yes, we see gradually that the country will be able to stand up again and be able to move so that, our brothers and sisters, other parts of the country will be able to somehow see us as leaders again on the continent, because this is a country that stood years back as a champion, as a hero, helping to run. We're talking about the independence of other countries. Liberia is too strong. So where did we go wrong? It has to do with some of the choices we made in making people leaders of the country.
Thank you.
I know you will get angry with me. You will come back to fight me. But I have no other way but to say the message truth, to say the way I see it, back at me, shout at me. But that's the error Liberia really made when it went to the polls in 2023 to elect the Ballon d'Or winner in 1995 as president of the country. It was a serious and a terrible mistake, and we can only hope that Liberians do not repeat that error again. Thank you, Mr. So.
Yeah, so this is what, moving forward, this is what we should do. For us here, as far as I'm concerned, we're all doing great, everybody doing it. But we are not having these conversations just to entertain ourselves. is for the audience. We learn from them, they learn from us. So when the moderator call your attention, that is okay. But so you know, the citizen arrest motion is being filed in that when you go to Liberia, the Supreme Court will you attend. So that one, the Lami file is okay.
Arrest against me?
No, I just telling you, Dr. Toto spoke already.
Yeah, Dr. Toto spoke after I spoke.
Look at you. Where you coming from?
the man said,
Dr. Toto, I wait to talk you.
Yeah, I spoke already. I said you want to give me by the floor.
Yeah, okay. I want to see.
If you give me, just 30 seconds. Let me get close with this.
No, I want close now. I thought I wanted to close. I think I'm going to the close.
No, 30 seconds. You may call my attention.
I called that.
You call my attention. So we got quick.
It's already time for us to even wrap up.
Yeah, let me
what his name? Rescue Uncle, you want to call, you can call. The number is, I put a number up. You can call. But it's wrapping up now. I think everybody listened pretty well with people closing statements, views, opinion, and all of that. But Dr. Toto.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I close, this concept, the war, and people still try to move the goalposts. This person responsible, this person is not responsible. And Dr. Malley, what Dr. Malley was saying was taking a holistic view, which is being misconstrued, misinterpreted by the liberal wing, which of course is as usual. They always like to reconstruct, saying that need not to be reconstructed. And they go into their prayer upper room and they put it to their God to pray. And all of you, God don't listen to those sort of prayer. God listen to the prayer of the people. But here is the thing. Dr. Malley's argument has been the policy, the infrastructure, okay, all the one will destroy. But are those policies that should keep the country running, are they destroyed too? The Constitution, is it destroyed as well? We have revisited and that is okay. So why can't we now take the bull by the horn, those that are people that are in authority and all of that? All we are saying for the good of the country. But I just do that as a closing argument and then closing point, and then I'll go to the other gentleman, and then I come back. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Before I go to my closing statement, I just want to show on 10 seconds on this,
yeah.
When we appear on the show, like you said, we're not just speaking, we are also providing education on our people. We find ourselves, how we find ourselves intellectual or body, to disseminate information. I think to my brother Akwe, the word he used was not appropriate, to refer the former president as a credible on social platform. I think he took it back already, which is good. But I don't think.
So why you talking?
Yeah, but I don't think it kind of represent this platform. We come here with that direct view. We share joy, we discuss issues, but we should be able to be careful of our language. In closing that, I agree with
Dr. Malik, not Dr. Malik, Dr. Toko, are you in Royce? I want to see whether I can have the phone line exhausted.
Yeah.
Can I just exhaust the phone line, then you guys close it up? Is that
yeah.
Okay, because the phone line here is off the hook here. Keto, you're going to be the last. Let me go to the rescue uncle. Clarence Davis is calling. Clarence, let's hear you.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good. Good to have you.
I just spoke with the Dwayne on the talk show, and he gave assurance to all rescue team that hopefully when you get by here, instead of Chinese phone, we will borrow from North Korea. The North Korea phone will be used. In the meantime, I want to come in a little bit concerning the issue that you've been discussing tonight. But when they got it from the former psychometry, when they come on the show, they should be able to applaud the government. They gotta see they say monkey can't be their blind hand behind. They see where they store Joria television from the house, they store a Mercedes again from the yard. Now they won't come back to the rescue period to beg us so we can be able to redeem them. Wow. With all the development are going on, with all the setup that the government is setting up, I don't know why many of the guys want to talk about it. You saw on the Facebook a few days when the Lpr-Tv, the reporter, was speaking to the man who was one of the instructors to one of those schools. Complete mention. In this school, the president is saying we should build about 80 of the schools in the 15 countries. So the mention school that we are looking at, they are not only building a school to get leaders in that manner. They are building it at an international level, that the same level of elementary school in the country, that the standard that they are trying to build over there. I think it's a good thing. Many of us follow our education in Nigeria. That doesn't mean when we left from Nigeria, we came to city, we were up to date. The education system in our country has gone down, completely down. Completely down, because many of the, when you even follow the Facebook, when they interview somebody, what is their gender, they will get what call different thing. So there's a need that the government got to really stand up to put a system in place to bring qualified teachers on board. Because many of our instructors, especially those that in the interior, not like before. Especially those that in the interior, somebody can get gathered. Because in the time when they was out, they make a realize that they can't be open school here. And when they open their school, why is not a private school at the end of the day? They will say that private school, they'll put it under the government. The question that we had to ask here is that men are going down there to open a school for our children, to teach our children. Have you been to teaching school or teacher school before?
Okay.
Because they may have not been an instructor before, he had not gone to any institution. He just got to go in a children open school. What lesson really can they learn from the person?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to come in a way that for you people to really don't talk about the education system one more than the way you people brought it out tonight. Thank you, CEO.
All right. I appreciate that. We'll surely do that. Christopher, let's do it. We are actually extremely out of time. If we can, everybody can just wrap it up in one minute.
So thank you for your statement. Just pray almost 6 minutes. Okay, so
Yeah,
for me,
but
anyway,
yeah,
I will take that. I want to say thank you to you, Mr. Sue, and Mr. Dr. Toto, for addressing the situation with brother Akwe. I think if we're going after Prophet Keenan today, he finds himself behind bars, it's because of wrong. You can't come on this public platform and call a former president a grown-up boy and not taking into consideration totality of the body of his work. You look at a 22-year-old man, they took him to Cameroon. He did not even complete high school at that time. And then he ended up in France representing the country. Even we can disagree politically, but you don't call him a grown-up boy. This man got family. He got children. He's a well-respected human being. My man, we got to stop it in Liberia. And I want to say thank you, Mr. Sue, you and Dr. Toto for going after the brother and saying you got to apologize. It's wrong. I think that's what we're supposed to do, And I want to say thank you because I come here. I'm a different kind of citizen. I share the platform. I come here. I listen to you people. I come and say my one or two things, but I always share the platform because while you guys come from diverse. Come with opposing views, diverse, and it's good for our country, But yes, my point I want to make before I leave quickly. You see, the vocational school, where a black-friendly school system in America as well as in Liberia. With vocational schools, black men, a Liberian man can survive and work and take care of his family without depending on government jobs. So we got to reintroduce the vocational school system so that black men, even if they don't go to college, they can be able to feed their family just by doing carpentry and other things, and that will be good for our country. I want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you so much. Let me go to this number here, 763 number. Thank you for being patient. 3488. Good evening, caller.
Hey, good evening. How you doing? How you guys doing?
Good, good. What's your name and where you calling from?
Thank you. This is Shelton Bull, and I joined you guys from Norfolk, Virginia, this tonight.
All right. Welcome, Shelton. Let's hear you.
Thank you. I mean, let me firstly appreciate you guys. I mean, every time taking upon your time to make sure that you guys bring all the national issue that is happening in our country and keeping we that live in diaspora informed. I mean, I much applaud you guys for that. I mean, I listened to you guys, my dear friend and brother James. James has said it, even though there are some words that he used that some of all we are not a supporter of President Weah, but for the fact that he served our country thing, we can also give him that respect. But I think thank God that he was able to take it back to the issue. I think there are so many reasons when I see other people all around, especially sedition, other people talking about President Weah coming back, or President Weah will come back in 2029. I mean, I don't see no reason why President Weah should even come back because James said that, well, coming back from a country, especially from war, 14 years war, where our country was completely broken down. Some of all, we thought that the indigenous people, those days we used to say, come on, people spoil our country, this and that. Later we try to bring the indigenous people. If I stand to be corrected, but I think George Weah was one first, or one the indigenous president. He may not be the first. I think, yeah, okay, Doe became president by then. But what we're trying to say here, there's no reason where President Weah should come back. When President Weah was president in this country there, the past 6 years, we found out that our country passport, diplomatic passport, landed in the hands of criminals. And then nothing absolutely happened. You saw that the international community or everywhere people from international community were kind of laughing at Liberia because our image was totally damaged internationally. So bringing our own indigenous person into power, that when it comes to creating jobs, when it comes to infrastructure development, where people used to use Africa to go to southeast, the southeastern part of our country, that was very disgraceful. So if we give you a 6 year to better the lives of our people and you did not do that, and then you were defeated and you're talking about coming back to do what? Even though the paper is not 100%, but I can tell you, my dear brother, I was in Liberia. By the way, I just came here. I spent like 3 years. When I was doing business back home, if people send you things like if it's $1,000 for you to get it from the bank, you will struggle with it. You don't mind, you will have to spend almost about $150 just to talk to somebody in the system to give you that money. But today, you myself, we can sit down here. For those of you that are sitting on the platform, I believe that some of you carrying some project back home. If you send any amount back home, $4,000, $5,000, that will be received without even asking you to do any other thing. Those are the systems we want to see in place. Okay. Even though when it comes to job creation, I mean, this government has some challenges when it comes to that. But we definitely know that things going to change in the future. But
thank you so much.
Now, the way the government is proceeding, I think there's no reason that President Weah should even think about coming back. Let me say thank you and have a God bless night to all of you.
Thank you for participating. We do appreciate your time and company with us. Keep following us. Okay, Keto, let's go ahead quickly here. We're not taking no call again. That we can just keep it 1 minute each. You the last person here, and then I'll go to the live to wrap it up. Keto, let's hear you.
Thank you. It's good that some of us went to Liberia. We were in Liberia last year, and so we were in Liberia and we're doing businesses in Liberia. We send money. We're talking about good money to Liberia, and our people went and got it. We're all There was no problem. 5,000, 10,000. They got it the same day we sent it. They got it during the 6-year president we are. So anybody can bring on the story. It's good for people to hear. Let everybody view their own opinion. The world with Josh. And because I'm a living witness, you send money to Liberia, nobody calls it. It was hard time to collect the money on the president we are. So people come and distort and make it look bad. On the president we are, things in Liberia was good and some were bad. Just how this administration, some things are good and some things are bad. Our problem is with ourselves. So I'm gonna just go back to where Dr. Toto and I was talking about the education in the rural area. And we shouldn't forget, let's take into consideration, the greatest portion of our population was not in Monrovia. Prior to our civil war, prior to Samuel Kiddo coming to power, our greatest portion of our population were concentrated in the rural areas. And this is what I put up for my research. In 1960, the government began prioritizing rural education with the initiative like UNESCO Foundation Education Center. They started in Clay, that bombing era, 1953 to 1957. 1960, they increased focus in training teachers. The Rural Teacher Training Institute were training 50 teachers to 75 teachers for rural elementary school in the rural area. Don't forget now, the population, vast majority of the population were in the rural area. We had 2.5 million people in our country prior to our civil war and prior to even there, it were 2.5 million people. Monrovia had less than 200,000 people in Monrovia. The rest of the population were over there. And you tell me education was in our rural area at the time? Let's look at it holistically. They have university in Monrovia. They have college or high schools in Monrovia. All the government schools were being built in Monrovia at the time. In Monrovia, our people were left undone. Okay. This is the reason why up to the 90s, when they did a statistic, it says 85% of our population were illiterate. 85%. Dr. Toto, we're not talking about you guys who are opportune to go to Sonale, Cali school or Lutheran school, and the rest of one country was sitting down. Let's be honest. This is the reason our country is suffering today, because we don't speak truth. Because I alone are eating turkey, all my neighbors around me not eating turkey now, say our life good.
Thank you
so much. Do that?
Thank you so much, Captain.
Then why progressive? Why you fought with a progressive? Why did you fight with a progressive if you are not in our country, are not marginalized like that?
Thank you. Thank
you. So
I
beg you, let us honest with the conversation. Thank you so much for the show tonight.
Thank you. That's what brings diversities of views, opinions in a critical context. And the tolerance the political people don't have, that's the tolerance the analysts on this network can stand. Yeah, there are some people smarter thinking they're children up. Okay, guys, we listen to you all. We are about to give to have a Emmanuel Tia. Emmanuel, why will you tell whole party to rest in peace? They're not going to. The party is a party, it's an institution. Okay. Let's start here. Akwe, let's hear your 1 minute closing. You wanted to go first, then I'll go to Akwe.
Yeah, I was in flight in the corner. Like I was saying first, initially from the onset of the discussion, I said I agree with Dr. Mali when it comes to statistics. Most of the statistics is that if you go in research, especially the World Bank, IMF, UN, and other statistics, statistical report on Liberia, is only based on Monrovia, and then they kind of generalize the entire country on it. And these are some of the things. So when I carry aid to Liberia as a whole, they are focused on Monrovia area. They don't really go in the rural area to see some of the deficiency that the rural community face, and that's why I continue to see the big gap in the rural area in Liberia. But now with any, those are just statistics that came after the war and things like that. But now with any, we say that even despite the statistics that they have on Liberia that just focus on Monrovia, we have a better education system. Those we have gap in teachers. They brought foreigners in to help to fill out the gap to teach. But that doesn't take away that we have a better education system in Liberia that a child in the rural area can compete with a child in the urban area. We saw that. Even that matter, even going to elite schools in Liberia, even the government institution in Liberia, we have government schools in Liberia, the like of BWR, the like of Twadbaha, and other rural high schools. We still have to compete with schools in the rural, in the urban area, in the rural area. So our system what you need. We can just say it was a dark days to war in because there's no research to show that how it was done, this, that, but we can see how this thing play out. So that was so Kete, because our country after 1964, you're talking about there was no good education system in the era. No, I disagree with that, Kete. I disagree with that. We have the structure that was there. You know what can happen when a country infrastructure is broken down to build it up. It's a task, especially we that in the diaspora. Yeah, we that live here, especially I don't know about Europe, but we that in America. Yeah, we have all the technical, we have the best education, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have engineers. Why can't we just pack our belt, just run away and just go like run away? Why I say that? Because what it comes with burden it is a difficult process for us to just go and just go straight to Liberia to contribute to the social economic development of Liberia. It's the same way to people that in Europe who find it difficult to go in the urban in the rural area because the same situation too. So government have to find a way or strategy to relocate people from the urban area to the rural area. Just before I close that 10 seconds, I saw a video today. I don't know how true, or maybe Terry will correct me on that when he read to speak. A coastal boss want to call Grand Crew, the Barclayville city, and the people are celebrating their first time seeing a boss to enter Barclayville for only many years. Yeah, so these are because the road is good down. People move from southeast into Monrovia or to one location. People are moving flexible now on the roads. So, but that's why I saw. But it's a good show, good discussion. That about know him. I said, just by our talking, we'll call each other. We'll talk our thing. We always communicate. But it's a good discussion.
Can you commit yourself coming regularly? The people shouldn't. So you start writing, and then.
Oh yeah, sure.
I know. I know. All right. Thank you so much, Dad, for your expertise this morning. This evening, we do appreciate. Akwe, let's hear you quickly, please.
Yes. So I also watched the video and I saw the euphoria. I saw the celebration and excitement from people from a country that gave me independence in 1847 when the bus entered a particular region. Established in the 1820s and gained independence in 1847. Over 170 years. So many things continue to still be on the dark side. Liberia, like I usually say, a small country, just small, about the size of Ohio. When the right things are done, when the right policies are executed, we can be able to move our country forward. We need to be strong, tackling the issue of corruption, strengthening the judicial system, decentralized, every sector, of course, of the country. Everything should not just be concentrating there in Monrovia. You will have people trooping there to the country. And these people are right. They are Liberians and they can decide wherever they want to live. And nobody should say, oh, people should go back up, to the rural part, they're where they belong. No. We live in America, you and I. We can decide to live wherever. So let our government be able to do those things that will make people to remain to where they are. When they have those services, when they have those systems into place, of course, people will remain there. Let's tackle the issue of job creation. Let's be firm on that. Thousands of Liberian students graduate from high school, college, and university annually. What can we do as a government, as a people, to tackle the issue of job creation? Today, I can say that there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Watch out. The yellow machines will be coming in March. The country will be opening up, and we want to see so many good things happening in the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good. Everybody on point. Let's go to Delaware.
Thank you, Mr. Saul, and thanks to the rest of the panelists. And I think it was a unique conversation. But you see, that's what people need to do, continue to do research before they comment on stuff. I mean, I've taken the word of the Reverend Collins. It's good that Carter came back and talked about Clay. Clay is in Bowman County. I used to be at Clay. My auntie was the matron over there. And for your information, Carter, I live in Vanjama. I went to Swedish Mission School. I went to Vanjama Public School in the 60s. And I was in the interior. I did not grow up holistically in Monrovia. I was born in Monrovia, but I live in the interior. And I speak my dialect fluently. So you need to know that when we speak of experiences. Now, the other thing is that people were saying, we were in the dark days, there was no education. You know why the thing is named KRTTI and ZRTTI? Those were Kakata Rural Teacher Training Institute. Those things were created. Like I said the last time on the show, that Charles Taylor was one of the beneficiaries at ZRTTI. He went to school with my uncle, who ended up being the principal of schools in the Vanjama district area. So when we talk about collecting data, some of the reasons why data are not reflective of the interior since the war is because the inability for people to travel to those places to collect data. Those challenges will kind of, reflect in the data collected. But when they need to look at things from a country perspective of services and what you think need to happen, they look at a specific demographical area, and they do your data there. And I think those are the data that are reflective of Liberia because it's more possible to collect the data in the Monrovia area. And I think as we expand now and see some of the rural development with the roads development, I think we can start collecting data from there. But this notion that Liberia were in the dark days of education, and a lot of people came. I'll close on there. A lot of people came from foreign countries to come and teach in Liberia. Some of them were high school graduates and were not even qualified to teach our people. But because of the smartness, we were self-learned. And I can say that because I know a lot of students in the classroom. I've sat in the classroom where teachers came in and just told us, there's paramecium and all that stuff, and they walk away. We sat there, put our feet in the cold water just to read and study. A lot of students did that. So I consider those self-learned. And one day a teacher gave her the test, everybody scored 37. That's not teaching. And it was some of these foreign teachers. So but let me say this, that we have some great teachers. Demonstration school has some of the best teachers. Everybody that went to demonstration school excelled. And again, it was in the urban area of demonstration right on Clay Street. But so were the schools in Vanjama Public School and all those elementary schools that were being built. So let that cry down on our people. I think it would take a while before we get up there where we intend to be, but we need to go slow after this civil war. The war damaged our country. The institution, the infrastructure, the system, everything was damaged. Law and order, everything was damaged.
Thank you so much.
It will take us a while to get there.
Thank you so much. Terry, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Soul, for the show. Actually, Dr. Mali said that you have policies, so institutions supposed to be automatically built because there are policies, but that is not how it works. You can have all the policies If you don't have the reputable environment for learning, the policy means nothing. You can carry a big book full of policy. It means nothing. So policy without creating the environment for the policy to thrive is meaningless. Bentor is the capital city of Monserrato. Monrovia is the political capital. Let me show you the disparity between Ghana, the rural area in Ghana, when it comes to schooling. Liberia is far better than Ghana, who have never experienced war. When it comes to the rural area learning capacity, Liberia is better than Ghana because Liberia have been through war, and even though we have dilapidated or stuff, but the amount of people in Ghana and Nigeria that do not attend school, and even when they go to school but don't have proper learning skills, are far outweigh the amount of people in Liberia that don't have, in the rural area that have not gone to school. What I'm reading here, it says here, okay, yeah, because of time. So no problem. Next time I'll
I'll ask him where you getting that information from.
Well, the data is there, Mr. So I'm reading that the information is here. Approximately 30.8% of rural population aged 3 years and older have never attended school, which is significantly higher than 13.2% in urban areas. This is Ghana.
Okay.
All right. It says here, because of time, it says here that literacy level in Ghana, while national literacy is around 70%, rural areas, particularly in Savannah, Northeast, and Northern region, have literacy rates ranging from 32.8% to 41.3%. The lack of formal education is most pronounced in the rural area among poor and for girls. While about 65% of children in rural areas complete primary school, they often face a lack of qualified teachers.
Thank you so much.
This is Ghana. And this is the economy that people say is rising. This is an economy that people say is a country that is on the trajectory of flourishing, blah, blah, blah. They have not experienced war in I don't know how many decades as compared to Liberia. But go and look at Liberia statistics for rural area and compare that with Ghana, you will find out that Liberia is better. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure so that when we say something here, let people know where this information coming from to take it away. And that was the purpose. I know you won't just throw anything out there. Dr. Mali, we heard all of the mixed stuff people gave here. Oh man. No matter what, the laborers will be laborers, but it's good that I think the gentleman from Delaware to validate your argument to say, yeah, some of the people that come to Ghana, they did not graduate, did not do this, and that's exactly what you were speaking to. But I'm not gonna dress. The Ome can dress himself. Dr. Mali, let's send these guys home. Today is Sunday. Let them go home in peace. Let me hear you.
You got Dr. Mali Ome. That's unacceptable on the show. That's acceptable on that's not acceptable on the show.
You see, you want me to? He wants to argue.
Let's just make it short.
Yeah.
1 minute.
I went to school in Ghana for 6.5 years. There is no way we can compare Ghana educational system. Half of your politicians sitting now in Liberia right now, half of their children are in Ghana. When Dr. Toto was talking about the golden days, I agree with him. Those are golden days. At the back of foreigners who took advantage of the open door policy. There's no two way about that. At Dokliati, they were all there. In most of our private school, they were all there. Like those days, people send their children to some school when Ghanaian not there, so they say it's not a good school. So we don't dispute that it were not golden days, but it were on the back of foreigners. That one point of correction. And the second point of correction, Dr. Toto know and I know. Even the short visit he made to Liberia there, more than 5 universities, some of them even went to the airport, tried to barricade him there. He can't come, he should stay to where and all the kind of thing. It's just a clear example that the brain dream is biting in Liberia. Since 23 years now, we left civil war, There are a lot of professional Liberians. I don't have the statistics. I'm sure a lot of people went to school, even from the refugee camp up to today. A lot of Liberians went to school. So in conclusion, I would want to say that modern education started 2003, where Liberians are now taking education into their own hands. But because most of all have left now all over the world, we don't want to go back home, the foreigners are coming back again. So now, the only people that are taking over those jobs now, the university graduates, University of Liberia, Cottington, when they produce all those people, they're the one filling in the gap now. So at least for the first time, Liberians are taking over their educational system for the first time. And that's good news. Is it quality? I don't know. Apart from that, since 2003, up to now, it's been 23 years. The educational ministry have got 2 major reforms. The last one was in 2024, right? The education ministry have got 6 partners, including the World Bank, that is helping them with a whole lot of technical things, including finances. My question now is, if we had a good structure, no good policy put in place at that time, yeah, that's a total. We're in the 21st century. He are progressive. Now he just made an announcement, and now he going back to Total because we know the progressive who is Morovia. So thank God he made an announcement. But what we're seeing here now is that he has gone to make an assessment. Now all the progressives are going back now to see what's going on to their backyard. That's good news. He has gone and he first thing his lenses saw was children still sitting now on the floor. So then my conclusion here is that children been sitting now on the floor since 1847 up to today, they still sitting down on the floor. In our isolation, in our mistake. They've been sitting down on our floor since 1964, 1965. They still been sitting down on the floor. All right? So I don't think it's a coincidence, Dr. Toto. And thank God the progressive are going now back home to see these things. Then we're waiting for them now to use the pen to paper to speak to national government to get it in lifted and we'll move forward. But the dark days were based solely on the back of foreigners. That why we have good educational system. I didn't say it wasn't there. So I don't want the security analysts go misquoting me all over the place. I yield.
What a fascinating conversation. This is how
Thank you for making the correction.
This is how the independence speaks out. And Dr. Mala, you're quite right, because if we are not forceful, these progressive will continue to remain in the capital, and they will just throw it, they will give all the leftover, and the thing is just okay because Monrovia is the capital. We see Monrovia as a capital, as a distribution hub, and everybody should feel it. Guys,
CEO, I hope the other progressive will follow Dr. Toto footsteps.
Which progressive? Which one? The gentleman from there?
The other progressive, they stay there. They stay in Monrovia. They don't leave. They don't go in the interior at all. I hope they will follow Dr. Toto footsteps. Because he left from America, he did not sit down in Monrovia. He went straight down there. You see, and that's a very good news.
So what are you gonna do when you get there?
I want to congratulate you for that.
So what are you gonna do when you get there? Where you going?
I'm not progressive.
No, okay. So when you gonna go? You don't have to be progressive.
You will stay in Monrovia and spend all your money there.
Where you going?
Thank you, guys.
Who did the progressive will go?
Okay, guys, I think it was a great conversation. I want to thank you. And this is why we would, I mean, all of these things here, it comes back to the point of this All Liberian Diaspora Conference, which we're talking about. These are the things that these conferences should be addressing, how to do massive recruitment. And when we say it, then they say we are antagonizing the government. That's not it. But when they go to DC there, they want me to just leave my job or you to abandon your people and go to DC? Come to the government, come to the people. But Dr. went to DC to drink beer, wine, he go do a follow. Who knows that after total, maybe the cake out there for him, you're enjoying yourself. So Wait,
But
that's what
the people wanted to arrest you. They say you must sit down there. You must leave your family in America and go sit down there.
But you know,
all of this is
CEO,
whether people like it or not, the prayer is on the government to go all out and get those who they can get. But when you have few people who thinks that they are just in control and they should do it the way they want to do it, then that's a problem. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being here. And
do your own research. You will
listen,
find it out.
CEO.
Will you please start making plan with Esther, please?
But she said,
you tell your own Esther to her own. So where you saying?
Over 20 million children out of school in Nigeria.
She just put in
20 million children out of school in Nigeria. That is more than the population in Liberia.
Four times the population in Liberia.
We gotta go. I'm not gonna relegate the conversation. We gotta go. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the closing.
So I mean, Mr. So I mean, and all of the panelists again, like I slipped in earlier on a particular comment that I used. I can always hold it back.
That's okay.
I can always take it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your action was deliberate. It was calculated. It was on purpose. So that's sleep there. Don't sleep again next time.
No.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because that was somebody said, anybody calls you this, anybody talk to you, just be
well, that's what we're saying. Just take it to the Supreme Court.
I saw you go to Moravia.
And I told you that case law there though. We got a case law now. Anybody calls you, just go there.
Yeah, don't talk. I mean, here when they even calls you here, don't talk. Just be
go there.
I saw you call the Highland. We say the mayor calls Mama.
Yeah, that's it. What a man.
You. Thank you so much, man, Moses.
All right, brother, so.
All right. And folks, we want to thank you so much for sharing your evening, your morning with us. If this is the first time, this is LPR. This is what we do here. We agree, disagree, but conversations are held in a civil context, and hopefully we come to a solution. If it's follow us both on Facebook and our YouTube channel as well. Your comments, your tweets will usually go back. David Momo say monitoring from Bo Waterside. That is in Grand Kima County. Thank you so much for joining us. This is why it's so important that when we come to these national conversations, we must organize, arrange, and put our houses in order in that people take up their time to burn their data, to stay away, and not just talk whatever we want to talk. That would just be unfair to all of you. We say thank you so much and have a pleasant evening and happy new week, wherever you are. And we'll continue to pray for Mama Liberia. Our conversation here, what is not for somebody is not against. All we are saying, all what we are talking is to make our government more functional and open your eyes, know her priorities, and do what is right. No one, nobody, no any patriotic citizen will be against a sitting government. We will have this critical, diverse view. Just how you see it, I might not see it like that. Maybe I didn't clean my lenses that well, and just be persuasive to push your lines. And people should start getting in their skin. Just a boycott is the president for all of us, whether we like it or not. Whether you voted for, you voted against. So calling the president, calling the government, he is the head of the government. And so if there was anything, his name will come in the picture. That doesn't mean that he's the hater guy and he must do it all, but we are just calling on him as the leader to take the lead and let God lead him to do what is right. Because you're going to have a lot of sycophants and grave seekers around him who profess to support the agenda of the president. That has happened and will continue to happen. So we are not antagonist to the government. Neither am I saying here any of the analysts, but we discuss those issues critically in order to bring their convincing point. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort,